Refactoring in IntelliJ. I'll cover one of the basic refactoring feature of IntelliJ. There are far more advanced, powerful refactoring mechanisms that's available in IntelliJ, but that's something I'm going to create one more course called IntelliJ Advanced. There I would address those. For now, we just want to what? Get a hold on IntelliJ and work like professionals. So suppose if I have ID and I want to rename this, what I would do? I would refactor so that change can happen everywhere. If I simply say id yes, and again we have a lot of errors here, so I don't want this to happen, but I want this to be renamed everywhere in this class as well as in the whole project if it is used anywhere else. So in that case, how do we work with this? So let's say I'll say id, I'll say control t. You see this uh, displays one a big menu that's called as refactor this. There are many things: rename, move, copy, save, delete, and extract, delegate, interface, superclass, inline, pull up members. So like this there are so many things are there, and these are the things something which I'm going to cover in the advanced lesson of using IntelliJ IDE. For now I just want to show you how the rename works. So for that, we can straight away access the shortcut, that is shift F6. So we are in the rename refactor. I'll say, let's say I decided to make the ID as emp id. Things would change here. I'll say yes, and even in the parameter I'll select this. I will say change in parameter also. Do refactor. Now you can see that not just here but also in the parameter things has changed. Let me say control Z so that I can just come back to that. Let me go ahead here and create one object of employee. Let's say employee equal to new. You see this here. When I go to employee, it is showing me all the possible parameters. I have with one constructor with no parameter, and another constructor with id and name, another constructor with id, name, and salary. So this is the what fundamental feature of any id. So I'll say it like this, and I'll say emp dot. I wanted to show you something. Let me delete this. Let's say I'll have something like this: public static int num. So let's say emp dot num. We can access like this, or we can also say employee equal to like this, and I'll equal to some value I will assign. Now if I go here and if I say shift F6, then how do you work with this? I'll rename this to, let's say instead of num2 I'll say my num. And quite surprisingly, if you go here and you look at, that has been renamed here also. So if I rename refactor here in the whole project, wherever that field has been used, in all the places the refactor will happen. So refactor is one of the most powerful feature of any IDE. Get it? So what is the shortcut? Shift F6 to rename. Now another fundamental thing is, if I go here and I rename this class, let's say it was employee, and I will say employee deprecated. So what do I do? I'll say shift F6 and I'll say employee deprecated. I'm not sure if the spelling is right. And as you can see here, you see the change is happening here, isn't it? Look at that. Even the file name is also getting changed. That's what I wanted to show you. If I say enter, that would have changed. Say if I say version 2 and enter, and local variable where it has been used here, if I say like this, and if I say okay, do refactor, now you come back here, you see that the reference name is also renamed into employee version 2 in camel conventions. And if I say control Z, is happening, undo renaming class, I'll say okay, and it will rename again in all the places. Make sense? So what's the error we are getting? Can't resolve employee. Let me delete this. Again, I'll go here and I'll say Alt Enter. Maybe if I close and reopen this. Import com dot felight dot myapp dot ems dot employee. That's it. I'll go here and I'll say run and clean project. I'll say shift F6 again. Employee, I'll say. I don't really have any idea how this resolved, but no, this one. No software is perfect. IntelliJ might have misbehaved for a moment of time, and it's alright. So that's about the refactoring. What are the things I thought? If I rename something here and that gets renamed all other places, and if I rename the class name, even the file name gets renamed, and some of the other fundamental things, if I put it in a different package and if I go and alt enter, IntelliJ IDEA itself will give me the solution and can choose that to accept it and move it appropriate package, isn't it? So that is about the refactoring. In the coming lessons, we will look into something called navigation.